the attack on September 14th against Saudi Arabian oil facilities represents a dramatic escalation of Iranian aggression. It is clear, based on detailed exploitation conducted by Saudi, United States, and other international investigative teams, that the weapons used in the attack were Iranian-produced and were not launched from Yemen, as was initially claimed. To prevent further escalation, Saudi Arabia requested international support to help protect the kingdom's critical infrastructure. The United Arab Emirates has also requested assistance. In response to the kingdom's request, the President has approved the deployment of U.S. forces, which will be defensive in nature and primarily focused on air and missile defense. We will also work to accelerate the delivery of military equipment to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and the UAE to enhance their ability to defend themselves.
Finally granted a visa, Iran's foreign minister took off for the U.S. Friday morning to attend this year's United Nations General Assembly, already underway at its headquarters in New York. As he flew, so did the tweets, responding to his American counterpart, U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, who during a visit to the Middle East a day earlier accused Iran of warmongering.
It's not Iran that wishes to fight to the last American, rather it's his B-team hosts who seem to wish to fight Iran to the last American.
B-team host a reference to Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, the line suggesting Saudi Arabia wants Americans to fight its war with Iran. That's in a direct quote from a secret 2010 State Department memo released by WikiLeaks. In it, former U.S. Secretary of State Robert Gates made critical comments about his country's Saudi allies not wanting to get their hands dirty. In diplomatic circles, no doubt a deep cut by Iran's foreign minister, using remarks by Pompeo's predecessor against him.
Now, 2 underground facilities have been newly identified at the Yeongbyeon nuclear complex in North Korea, although their purpose remains unknown. According to North Korea watchdog 38 North, tunnel entrances and visible spoil piles have been captured in recent satellite imagery, which led to the discovery of 2 underground facilities located east and southeast of Yeongbyeon. One tunnel complex is seen as part of a road tunnel that links a nearby reactor to the uranium enrichment facility. A second, smaller tunnel may have been excavated sometime in 2005 or 2006 and had been completely camouflaged since 2013. 38 North says their location within Yeongbyeon's security perimeter and subsequent camouflaging qualify them as subjects of interest for future inspections.
Reports coming in that police have killed 9 suspects linked to an attempted robbery in Isipingo, south of Durban. Now, 1 suspect has been arrested. It's alleged police were following up on a tip-off and intercepted the robbers early this morning. Cases of attempted murder, possession of unlicensed firearms and attempted robbery have been opened.
It's against the law to protest like this. But these Egyptians are fed up. Their protests began on Friday night in Cairo near Tahrir Square, the epicenter of the Arab Spring uprising in 2011. Life hasn't been easy in Egypt since austerity measures were introduced after President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi came to power in 2014. Government figures show that 1 in 3 Egyptians lives in poverty. Frustrations were already bubbling to the surface after this former military contractor accused Sisi of wasting millions of dollars on luxury homes and hotels, as many Egyptians struggle to make ends meet. Muhammad Ali began posting videos online this month from Spain, where he's in self-imposed exile.
We just want to live in dignity. We want Sisi to step down. Enough is enough.
inside a mall in a Chicago suburb, a terrifying scene there. The driver of an SUV smashing through the entrance of the Sears store at the Woodfield Mall in Schaumburg this afternoon. The suspect then driving right into the mall. You see him there. You could hear shoppers screaming, running for their lives. Tonight, that driver now under arrest, and ABC's Marcus Moore with what we've just learned.
Yo, this is not happening right now.
Tonight, the terrifying scene in a Chicago suburban mall. Panicked shoppers running for cover. An SUV driving through the middle of the mall in a horrifying incident. Tires can be heard screeching in the mayhem.
Oh my God.
911 calls going out with reports of injuries. The Woodfield Mall in Schaumburg, Illinois, going into lockdown. Police with weapons drawn searching for the suspect. Emergency vehicles surrounding the shopping center. The entrance to the Sears store obliterated. Tonight, the male suspect is now in custody, seen being led away in handcuffs. Initial fears of an active shooter turned out to be false.
A school bus driver in Washington state is charged tonight with DUI, and the boy who called 911 right after he got off the bus.
Tonight, a young boy fearing for his safety calling the cops on his own school bus driver.
The bus driver, Catherine, she was drunk because she passed 3 red lights and she got on the side road.
The boy calling 911 as soon as he got to his home in Washington state.
She's like wobbling, and then her eyes, you can tell she was drunk.
Did she smell of alcohol?
Her breath sort of smells like alcohol.
Police used the boy's description to locate the bus driver, 48-year-old Catherine McCrone. She had just completed what they say were 2 afternoon bus routes with about 90 children on board. In a statement, police saying those officers smelled an obvious odor of intoxicants coming from McCrone.
David, that driver was arrested and charged with DUI and 2 counts of reckless endangerment. The district telling us she's been placed on paid leave.
There's mounting concern for the French government after a prominent yellow vest protester suffered a serious eye injury during a demonstration on Saturday. Jerome Rodriguez, a high-profile protester and a leading light in the yellow vest protests, suffered a serious eye injury which, according to his lawyer, was caused by a weapon that fires rubber bullets, contradicting initial official reports that the injury was caused by fragments from a stun grenade. Rodriguez was injured while he was filming and transmitting live footage on his Facebook page as the yellow vest protest arrived at Bastille Square in the centre of Paris on Saturday afternoon. I received 2 attacks by the police, 1 stun grenade, which they threw at my feet and made me dizzy, then 3 seconds later from a rubber bullet that hit me in the eye. I believe the police officer who shot me did it on purpose and aimed well because he hit me in the eye. In my opinion, it was on purpose.
It's called the Irish National Ploughing Championships, but in reality, it's more a celebration of farming, showing just how seriously they take it on the island of Ireland. The men driving the tractors have rock star status here.
Ploughing's a sport here as well as a job. All these people are Irish national heroes.
Over 3 days, 1/3 visitors inspect the machinery and the livestock. It's all in the blood. And given that Ireland exports 90% of all the food it produces, much of it to the UK, the idea of a new border cutting the island in 2 is a nightmare. What the British government wants to achieve at this point is vague at best, but it seems to accept the huge importance of Irish food to the UK. Politicians use phrases like the all-Ireland food economy.
humanity has ever faced, and our government is doing nothing.
So I don't think anyone needs a reason to be in this strike right now. This is for your future, this is for your existence, and this is for your life.
Yeongbyeon die, stop tonight. Yeongbyeon die, stop tonight.